Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 13th through the 19th, and during that time, we'll have a full moon on the 13th, and of course, that's a time for heightened emotions, maybe being prone to being overwhelmed and anxious, maybe a little snappy, irritable, that you could have changes in your sleeping patterns. So it's a really good time to just learn patience through that period and get through it. We then move into the waxing gibbous energy. All kinds of cards falling off here. And that's a really good time for self-reflection, rebirth, time to just buckle down, get some things done, get rid of bad habits and bad energy, and just move forward in a positive way. So keep those moon energies in mind as you move through your week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Virgo. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. All right, your overall message card for this reading: the energy is gaining momentum. All right, let's see what the Virgo Collective has going on for the week. All right, as I'm shuffling the tarot, I would like to say that since my readings are free, all I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and it's super, super easy for you to do. So I will give you just a moment to do that right now. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I'm noticing some returning faces, and I just want to say thank you so much for returning. All right. As I'm shuffling, also, I would like to say to just my weekly reminder this week is to notice the world around you today, and hopefully not just today, but every day, but to be looking for those synchronicities that the universe speaks to you with. And this could come in the form of, an animal that you don't see every day that comes, gets in your path. This could be repeating numbers, or maybe a song that comes on that has something to say to you. Could be in the way of like overhearing a conversation that maybe you're not even involved with. Just there's just different ways. Those tend to be the most popular ways for me to get messaging, but there's other ways, and just pay attention to those things. And that's ways that the universe is there to offer you clarity on your unique path and kind of help you along. And those messages are out there every day. So, all right, without further ado, we've got cards starting to flip over that we will take. Virgo, April 13 through 19. Let's see, the energy is gaining momentum. It looks like you're starting off your present energy, Four of Cups energy. So maybe being offered something here that you're not super thrilled about, super satisfied with. You're kind of, this is kind of the not interested card. Um, you know, this is kind of, feeling a little bit disconnected or whatever, so that's kind of the energy that you're starting off with. And all of a sudden here comes in the Ace of Cups. So is this something new that's being offered to you in the form of this cup that maybe you're ignoring or not really paying too much attention to? So, what is that? And why is that? Is there some reason? Let's get everything situated here. Is there some reason why this new love, and this doesn't have to be a person, although it very well could be, but this could just be a thing that's coming in, but you're kind of showing a little bit of dissatisfaction as it comes in. Let's see if the cards tell us a little bit more about why. At the root of your situation here is lots and lots of choices, and maybe are you overwhelmed by having so many choices? There's I like to say that choice in life is kind of a luxury. Not everyone has choice, and if you're having so many choices, I mean, look at all the cups that are on the table here at this point. So many cups, and that's a luxury. So don't look a gift horse in the mouth, is the saying that they say. What is just behind you is the Death card. So you're coming out of some sort of change, and maybe you are looking, you've had an ending. This could be an actual ending, of course, but many times the Death card doesn't represent an actual death. It represents, the end of a way of being, something that you've just said goodbye to or let go of. This could be, leaving a job, leaving a relationship. Usually it tends to be something bigger than usual when it comes in the form of the Death card. And of course, we have other endings in the form of tens and all the different suits, but when it comes in the form of a Death card, it does usually mean that it's something a little bit bigger, So, maybe there is the end of a relationship or the end of, you could be at the end of an education, that's wrapping up, but you're just moving into a new way of being. But something is coming into you in the way of these choices. And I mean, look at all the cups. So you need to start, I guess, buckling down and making some of those decisions. And again, like, let's say that this is an ending of a job and this is a job offer that came in and you're not too thrilled about it. So you've got a lot of choices to make, but are you holding out for the right one? And let's see, as this reading goes on here, what's on your mind is the Page of Wands. So, this is the messenger of kind of a new path, but a new path and something that you're feeling passionate about. So maybe that is why you are kind of rejecting something that's being offered, because it's like it's there and it's a good offer, but it's not the thing that you really want to put your, or it's not something that you would really feel super passionate about, and you are kind of waiting for something that you want to throw yourself into. You want it to fire you up. It's the thing that you want it to be exciting to get up and go every day. So let's see what else is coming here for you in the near future. Here we've got the Six of Pentacles. So this is one of those cards that I always ask the person I'm reading for, where do you see yourself in this cycle? Do you see yourself in this giving position, or do you see yourself in this receiving position? Because this is in front of you, this could be either for you, Virgo. And that's only really something you can answer for yourself. And are you in a place where you're able to give right now, or are you in a position to receive? And I mention that because sometimes receiving is not always easy for people. And there may be a situation in which you need to step back and allow yourself to receive something that's coming in, where that's not typically. And I think of Virgo, of how Virgos are so perfectionistic, and can be very self-critical, and aren't super prone to receiving help. So if there's someone around to help you, and this could be, in the way of a mentor, this doesn't have to be financial, although it can be, but it's just someone in your material world, someone around you that might be offering you advice on this new thing that's coming in. And are you kind of putting up your hand like, I don't want to hear that advice? But maybe it's time to kind of get that help and maybe let some of that information in, and to listen to that person around you. In your advice position is the Six of Cups. So, can we have any more cups on the table? I don't know. But here we are now, too, with a couple of sixes on the table. So, look up the angel number 66, see if that number means anything or has some message, to you about your current situation. But this is typically our card of nostalgia. This is kind of, you're enjoying the moment, but you're also kind of going back in time and reminiscing just a little bit. This could be with someone, or and maybe this is just a message for you because it's in your advice position, is to take the time to really think back over the path that you've been on, whatever this ending has been for you and this new thing that's coming in. But it's time to kind of maybe just sit down and have an assessment of your past and the decisions that you're making, and how you're going to make those decisions to move forward in this passionate way, and in a way that is maybe receiving. I feel like this is more about receiving than giving for you at this point. What is beyond your control this week? Wow, more cups. Shocker. It's a Three of Cups. So it's beyond your control to be celebrating something. So it looks like the right decision does come about. You're gonna get there. So be patient, and look at the signs around you. What is this information, or this receiving that you need to do? This could just be receiving from the universe. It could be receiving this tarot card reading. It could be that you're reaching out and trying to get a little bit of guidance, and you're going to get to a place where you trust yourself and you make the right decision, and you're going to be celebrating. So do pay attention to these things that are coming in, and what is the thing. You've got all these choices to make, and go ahead and pick the thing that's going to bring you, get you to this place of passion. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Strength card. So this is your card of inner strength. Do you have what it takes to hold out, to make that right decision, to hold out for that right thing that comes along, even though, maybe you're not happy with the first offer here that comes in with this cup? There may be more. It looks like you've got a lot of different choices to make. And do you have the strength to do that? Sometimes it's very easy to kind of jump at that first thing and just do it, even though you're not super happy with it. And maybe, I think your reading today is saying, let's maybe hold out a little bit longer. Don't jump so quickly on the first offer that comes in that you're not very happy about, because there's just more coming. And there's another offer coming to you, but it's going to take inner strength to say, hold on, let's wait a minute. Let's not jump to judgment here and make a very quick decision, but let's think on it. And maybe other messages and other things are coming into you as well this week. In your outcome position is the Seven of Swords. So very, very interesting that this card comes. So this is in your outcome, and this is kind of, this can be a card of maybe deceit, or um well, more like hidden agenda or theft. And are you running away with these thoughts? And I'm kind of seeing this too. I because this is a card of air, I see this as communication. So are you running away with some communication? You're leaving some information behind on the table. And I feel like this is almost like you not quite sharing everything. Um, and again, if this, I'll use this, just the job situation again as an example. Of course, tarot is a template. This could be about a new relationship. This could be about moving to a new place. This is just some big decision. I'm just using job as an example, but maybe you're only giving a little bit of the information to, maybe a future employer, that you have more information that you're kind of holding back a little bit, or and if that makes sense, you'll know what I'm talking about, that you're not leaving all of your cards on the table yet. And this could be, again, this trust situation when, or having all these choices. You've got these choices and you want to make the right one. And maybe you're just not leaving it quite all on the table yet. And that is your outcome. Your outcome is that, there are some thoughts that you're going to go ahead and just get away with. You're going to run away with them. You're not going to share them. You're not going to communicate certain things. And it could be that you're just kind of holding back because you are not quite ready, to make a complete and full decision. You may get there by the end of the week, and you may get there in this manner by not quite sharing everything that you could be. What is being hidden from you this week is the Ten of Wands. So here we are with another ending, and kind of hidden from you. It looks like, I mean, that death card is right there, and that's an ending also. So, maybe this is just another ending that you're not even aware of yet. And again, I'll use the job as a situation, is maybe you are about to leave the situation that you're in for something new, but there is something new coming in for you. And I think you just need to be open-minded to it, and kind of think back on your past and decide how you want to move forward in passion, Virgo. That's probably your most important thing for the week. And whatever this is, again, your overall message here was the energy is gaining momentum. So whatever this changes and these things, it may not even wrap up this week, but you're kind of in the midst of it. And again, it is gaining momentum, and you're maybe getting to a place where you might want to make a decision next week. When we go through cycles, it doesn't always take a week for things to wrap up. Sometimes you're just kind of in the thick of it. All right, final message here for Virgo is quietly serve. And we are going to pull one more card. Quietly serve, that's kind of that inner strength card. That's kind of, again, just going within, thinking back on your past, kind of looking over, evaluating, and thinking about the decisions that you want to make in the future. What is the thing that's going to bring you more passion in your life? And the other message is be creative. So that's not really helpful, to be honest. And because your ending is kind of running away with communication, again, I don't see that this maybe wraps up this week. And it may just be a time to kind of celebrate whatever this ending is with this death card. That might be just be your celebration this week. It's like you're happy you're through the ending. This thing is over. There's a bunch of decisions coming in. Your first offer, you're not greatly thrilled about, but there's other things out there, Virgo. So again, I don't see this wrapping up. And because your energy is gaining momentum, that momentum might not come to a head until next week. So get through this full moon period, enjoy this ending while it's going on. It looks like I see it as a happy ending. I don't see it as something you're upset about. It's something that needed to be over and done with, and you're feeling good, and you've got all those choices ahead of you. So Virgo, I really appreciate your time here with me today, and I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use. Of course, if you're comfortable, please leave me a comment down below and share with me. Let me know what you guys might be going through out there. That helps me connect with you. Also, I do post weekly readings, so come back next week and we'll see if maybe this resolves and there might just be a totally new energy here for you next week. Also, if you like my reading style, please like and subscribe. It helps my channel so much, which I really do appreciate. And most importantly, it helps you find me next week. So thank you so much, Virgo, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.